Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinex.
Get this woman's face. Good morning, Dr. It's the singing. I think the intro was
Dr. Can you introduce her again? I want to do something as you
Okay,
did.
go ahead. I'll give you the
Just
time,
go
no
ahead.
problem.
No, we have the same time.
No, just go ahead. Cameras on me now.
No, it's not.
Nika. Oh, wait.
Well, Rafai. Oh my God. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, Thomas Lane, the former Minneapolis police officer involved in the killing of George Floyd, pled guilty on Wednesday to a state charge of aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter and admitted that he intentionally helped restrain Floyd in a way that created an unreasonable risk that caused his death. Lane's change of plea means he will avoid what would have been a lengthy state sentence if he was convicted of the murder charge. In Belarus, President Alexander Lukashenko on Wednesday signed a law permitting the death penalty for political opponents accused of bogus attempted terrorism charges. Belarus is a close ally of Russia that has supported its military offensive in Ukraine. It's the only country in Europe that continues to carry out executions despite calls for a moratorium. In Nigeria, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, on Wednesday issued an indefinite suspension to Ahmed Idris, the Accountant General of the Federation, 2 days after he was arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over an alleged 80 billion naira fraud. According to a statement issued by the Finance Minister, the action is to allow for proper and unhindered investigation in line with public service rules. Under sports, after a years-long fight for pay parity, the U.S. women's national soccer team reached a first-of-its-kind deal on Wednesday with the U.S. Soccer Federation to close the gender wage gap, ensuring equal pay with the men's national team. Under the agreement, which will run through 2028, U.S. Soccer will become the first federation in the world to equalize the FIFA World Cup prize money awarded to teams for participating in World Cups. Finally, under entertainment, actor Tom Cruise's hotly anticipated movie, Top Gun: Maverick, was screened during the second evening of the Cannes Film Festival, with the French Air Force flying over the premiere. On Wednesday, the actor was met with a standing ovation as he was awarded the prestigious Palme d'Or, the highest prize awarded at the annual event. Now let's begin what's trending. Aminu Lawal, a suspect in the April 2021 kidnapping of the students from Greenfield University in Kaduna State on Wednesday, narrated how his gang members kidnapped, raped and killed the students. Aminu and his gang members operated along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway. He was paraded with 20 other suspects by the police and confessed that he and his group worked in synergy with a kidnapped kingpin known as Yellow Ashana to commit various atrocities in the state.
He said that him together with their syndicate members or their ringleaders, because during the Greenfield operation, they carry out the kidnapping operation. It's a joint operation from different camps, including Yellow Ashana camp, Baleris camp, and other of their kingpins. They invited them, they took the student, including female student, to a place at a location where after raping them, they shot them to death.
Tunja Abiola, this was horrible. I believe even yesterday or the day before, there was a kidnapping that occurred in that Abuja-Kaduna Expressway where over 30 victims were, ambushed. This is a year-long coming. I mean, there were about 5 students that were killed on that very occasion, that very horrible act that happened last year in April. May their souls rest in peace first, but congratulations to the Nigerian police.
Yes, I agree with you, Oji. And I think that this will give a little, I don't know, tiny bit of comfort to the families that maybe justice will be done. I'm generally not a fan of this practice that we have here of parading suspects. I think that, innocent until proved guilty, only a court can find you guilty. But in this instance, it's actually useful for the parents and for everybody to know the kind of lunacy that we're actually dealing with in this country. It's a constant reminder. These people are not human. They feel no mercy towards their fellow human beings. Look at how methodically they perpetrated these crimes, because it was actually an array of crimes, from kidnapping to rape, like you said, and then eventually murder. And then what happened as well on the highway, where people were just waylaid and kidnapped. You can't go via train. Those people are still in captivity, some God knows where.
Yes.
You can't fly, you can't drive. What on earth is happening here?
No, there's no safe means of transportation. Now, Nigerians are not safe, Rufai.
No, we're not.
I mean, so congratulations to the police for apprehending them.
Yes.
But I am more shocked because we have a big problem on our hands. If criminals can be this audacious to do this and the state cannot clamp them down, then there's a big problem. When the Greenfield incident happened, we thought it was terrorists and all of that, but apparently they are criminals. They are terrorists too. So it just means that Kaduna has a free reign of terrorism. That's what is happening. And we cannot nip this in the bud. It's obvious that these people are doing a number over the states. And that's why I can't sleep easy. So a part of me celebrates, but a part of me also says, does it really bring closure, to the killings that happened? The students that had their life ahead of them that were killed, the parents that lost a lot, does it really bring closure to them? Look at the rounds of ammunition and 2 million naira. I think one step further, the state should do a whole lot more.
Yes, sir.
Investing more in security. But Kaduna is under siege because this was the beginning of the siege in Kaduna, actually. This incident.
Yes.
And there was another university.
We were alarmed when that happened.
When this happened.
Yes.
So Kaduna is obviously under siege. Nigeria is under siege.
Dr. Abat.
And please, they shouldn't open that railway on Monday.
No.
Right.
I beg.
You're
please.
so right with that.
No.
Please, they
You're
shouldn't
so right.
open that railway on Monday. Please.
The attack on Greenfield University was in April 2021. 20 students were abducted. 2 members of staff were also abducted along with them. One of the staff members was killed. 20 were taken away. Then after a while, because a family paid ransom, they released that one person. Later on, they released another 5. Finally, on June 1, 2021, they released 14 survivors. They had killed 5 out of the total number. So, but the parents paid ransom, 150 million.
I read somewhere
And also
180 million.
motorcyclists, well,
Yeah.
they paid either 150 million or 180 million, but it was money they contributed. And they also had to buy about 8 brand new motorcycles.
Yes.
Now the police, I think, yes, I align myself with the position that they deserve commendation to have been able to break into that network. 21 of them have been arrested. They also disclosed that they have a syndicate. So it's a sub-economy on its own. They mentioned one man's name, Yellow Sir, who is somewhere in Kaduna. We hope that the police will follow all the necessary leads from their confession and then make sure that those other members of the syndicate, wherever they may be, are rounded up. Now, they said these persons confessed. Okay, they confessed, but they also asked for forgiveness. No, nobody should forgive them. They should be made, having confessed, to go through due process of the law. There's nothing like forgiveness here. Now, in any case, it's not the job of the police to forgive people, self-confessed criminals. The third thing, of course, look at the volume of arms and ammunition.
Yes, that was the scariest part.
That in itself is an indication of how bad the environment is. These are non-state actors. These are criminals carrying pump-action rifles, AK-47 rifles, AK-9 rifles, and having used all of this, according to their own confession, to rape, to abduct, to kill, and to inflict damage and pain, irreparable pain and damage on families and also the state. That is one other reason why they should not be forgiven. They should be made to face the full wrath of the law. There was a point that Tunde raised about, yes, innocent until proven guilty. Well, you know, human rights activists at a time in this country, civil society groups, they used to say the parade of suspects is illegal. Because when you parade them, as was determined in one case in 2007, Nduka Nice versus Attorney General of the Federation, the judge in that case ruled that when you parade them, you know, you destroy their dignity, you treat them badly. Okay, people who are self-confessed criminals, you may ask the question, do they deserve to be treated with any kind of dignity?
That's the question.
In Lagos State, in the Administration of Criminal Justice Law of Lagos State, the ACJL 2011, it is expressly stated there that in Lagos State, you don't parade suspects. That law has been observed in the breach. It's as good as dead law.
Yeah.
Because even here in Lagos State, people parade suspects. That ACJL 2011 gave inspiration to the enactment of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act of 2015, which was the last piece of legislation that President Jonathan signed on May 29, 2015. It also says the same thing. But the police have continued to insist that they parade these suspects in order to serve as a deterrence to others and to remind the public that the police are actually working. So I don't know where to stand in this regard, because the police will say, well, we respect the law, but these criminals have to be paraded. And that, you know, saying that they are innocent until proven guilty, yes, it's a good idea. But let them go and prove that innocence in the court of law. And we hope that...
You don't prove your innocence.
Well, if they can prove it.
It's not the Napoleonic Code.
Well, so let them go there. Let them go to the court and say, you know, we didn't commit the crime. After all, they say we are not guilty. If you say you are not guilty, you still have to prove it. Okay? No, but I know what you mean.
You prove guilt.
The system in Nigeria, in our jurisprudence, is accusatorial, rather than the French system that is inquisitorial.
Exactly.
You know, but justice must be done for the sake of all the persons who have been raped, who have been kidnapped, and who have been, you know, murdered.
Absolutely. We'll take another story. Following a nationwide condemnation over the gruesome murder of David Imoh, a sound engineer by motorcyclists in the Lekki area of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo Olu, the Lagos State governor, announced a total ban on the operations of commercial motorcycles in 6 local government areas of the state to take effect from June 1st. The governor made the announcement while briefing security agents on Wednesday.
The whole of Ikeja local government, the whole of Sule local government, the whole of Intiosa local government, the whole of mainland local government, the whole of Apapa local government, and the whole of Lagos Island local government. A total ban on this and all of the highways effective from the 1st of June. This is the first banning that we're going to be embarking on, so that others know that in a short while it's either to get out or for something else to do. And from 1st of June, there are LCDs that are underneath them. We're going to publish them. We're going to list all of them. And so we're given the notice now, right, where you can begin to do your recce, begin to do, you know, your strategy. From the 1st of June, please to want all of the Okada to be completely off this major road.
Well, I'm glad that the Lagos State government have listened to our cry. I felt like it was, you know, the advocacy through this death that occurred last week from David Imoh's outrage, where he was set ablaze. But, you know, a lot of people are saying, is this the first time that this has happened? I mean, it's not even the first administration that has banned Okadas. Let me just take a quick tweet before I come to you, Tundu. This is from Dei Dei, who wrote, 2 years ago, you banned Okada. Today, you are banning the same Okada again. Is it not as if you lifted the initial ban? No. you basically re-banned something you have banned already. This was a viral tweet that was going around social media, but let me just take another story from Abuja. In another development, violence broke out in Abuja on Wednesday as a result of a clash between traders and commercial motorcyclists in the Dei Dei community of the nation's capital. There were unconfirmed reports of a number of deaths at a popular building material shop, as other shops and vehicles were set ablaze. The police say investigations are ongoing to determine the casualty figures. This is what we get. This is the menace of Okada riders.
I think they're fast becoming urban bandits.
Yes.
Let's call them what they are. You cannot be in a society without respecting the rule of law in that society. There are laws that govern every society. You have an altercation with some market traders, and the next thing you're burning up stores and the likes, and you're saying you're Okada riders. I think they should go across board in every part of the country. They're just a bunch of very lawless people. And this is not, we're segregating or anything. Everybody must respect the laws of the land. You can't keep bullying people, setting people alight, burning people, destroying property and everything. You cannot be just uncontrollable in society. They are fast becoming the modern bandits. And I keep saying this, the mayhem they're causing, a lot of armed robbery perpetrated by them and their cohorts. These Okada riders in Lagos, in Abuja, and every part of this country, if care is not taken, they're going to become the next urban bandits. And we have to start dealing with them to flushing them out.
Absolutely.
Some people call for regulation. The first rule to that is they must be registered. They must be part of an association called Akomoro. They must pay their dues to Akomoro. They must have the profile of every Okada rider. Where we have unknown Okada riders, because it's only in this country we've got unknown gunmen, we've got unknown this, unknown that. Now we have unknown Okada riders that perpetrate crime, that kill the father of beautiful, lovely young children.
Horrible.
And to date, we've not been able to fish them out because we have a mob mentality. It's wrong for society. If care is not taking these riders, I've got nothing against Okada riding trade if you can do it legally. But these riders are soon to become the next phase of urban bandits. And quote me anywhere, I'm saying it.
Yes. Only yesterday, someone sent me a video that is circulating right now of, the whole Apapa gridlock where these Okada riders, that's that video. I mean, look at that. It's incredibly crazy.
This is looking like an army to me, and it's exactly why when security was called to help David Imoh, they were not able to subdue that mob. And who has been arrested after lynching a human being? Nobody.
I think that they said there was like 2 arrests.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm taking it with a pinch of salt because of the other thing that we mentioned. I might not say here.
Okay.
I'm not sure about those reports. The right people. I don't know if those are the right people. Because apart from David, who they killed, they beat up other people. They beat them unconscious, grievous bodily harm. And we don't know who they are. You commit these crimes and vanish into the ether. It is completely unacceptable. And it is a nuanced argument, but a lot of people will try and come in like the simpletons that they are and reduce it to an ethnic argument, as I'm sure Dr. Batu will keep you informed. But that's really not the point. And we shouldn't be blackmailed with this politically correct nonsense and fail to protect ourselves, because that's really what it boils down to. What happened to David could happen to anybody. They must be regulated. You have to be able to say, this is who was here at that time, this is who they are. You cannot commit these crimes. It's just not done.
Unacceptable, Dr. Abati.
Well, I think what remains, in addition to all the points that we have made, is for the governor or the government of Lagos State to take on board some of the reactions since the ban had taken place. And some of the questions to respond to will be, why didn't the ban work previously?
Yeah, that's a question.
Because previously in this same state, we were told that you would not, commercial motorcycles should not, ply the road, particularly the highways and bridges and certain locations. Shortly after the 2019 elections, the motorcycles were back. Even on Third Mainland Bridge, you will be struggling for space with motorcycles. And you'll be wondering, where did these people come from? Nobody enforced that ban.
No.
So first, there must be an audit, some kind of introspection on the part of the state government. The second part of it is that Akomoro, the Amalgamated Union of Motorcycle Owners and Riders Association, is saying that their own areas are not affected. That in 8 local government areas, there's no such thing. These 6 local governments that are affected, Surulere, Ikeja, and Etiosa, and all of that.
Lagos mainland.
The Hausa community leaders in Lagos are saying the people affected are mostly people from the north, and that they are very important to the economy of Lagos and to the politics of Lagos. So, well, the state government needs to process that feedback. Can the state government then say the ban will extend to all the SCDAs and local governments in Lagos, and then put a template in place for proper regulation and also for monitoring and enforcement, so that it does not look, as is being alleged, that a particular group of motorcyclists in Lagos are affected. The third point is that the Lagos state government should see in this development an urgent need to move faster with the letter T in its team's agenda. Because as the Seriki Hausawa Obalende was saying, he says nobody can do without motorcycles in Lagos because the transportation system is disruptive, it's chaotic, and that, motorcyclists are offering a very useful service. So how soon would we have the red line moving? We'll have the blue line moving. We'll have the 4th mainland bridge in place, because you really have to give the people alternative, okay? If these motorcycles are going to be restricted to the hinterland, maybe. Then again, the 4th point, I don't know whether it's even the 5th. Akomoro, is also dominated by a particular ethnic group. And we have seen indications that the persons that have been banned in these 6 local government areas, they are going to move to these 8 local government areas where there has been no ban. Now, will Akomoro accommodate them? Then 5, and finally, the state government has to put structures in place to check crime. Because if these people are unable to work, they could resort to petty crime or even serious crime. And already, of course, security is a major issue with these motorcyclists.
That's
so
the problem.
State government also must be prepared for that, so that they don't just leave their motorcycles and begin to knock on people's doors, particularly, in the places from where they have been displaced.
But why wouldn't Akomoro accommodate them if they're coming and they want to be registered members?
Well,
that's where we get
the way
things
the
wrong.
Akomoro spokesperson was sounding, it's like these are outsiders.
No,
they are not like us.
that's where we get it wrong.
And speaking of the last ban, when the last ban started, that was what led to the introduction of OjyOkpe smaller buses into Lagos.
Those ones are also very notorious.
They
disturb motorists.
But those ones, sort of like acted as a buffer. And they started new routes where the Okada riders would normally take.
Yes.
And they have filled up the gap on those routes, especially, I can say, for parts of VI and the likes. But what is important is that, we can't have a new set of urban bandits.
We can't.
They will destroy society and they'll create more harm.
We can't.
And do you know how many more people they've killed that we've not reported? It's just only David's case we've reported.
It's unfortunate, really. This law needs to be enforced immediately. Well, thank you all for your great analysis. That's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.